Hi, this is Alcan. Welcome back to my channel. Guess what? I don't know if you saw the other video about Judge Engoron. I call Judge Enron. He got himself into legal hot water over talking about the Trump case before he made the decision. Well, it just showed up in an article from a publication called Law and Crime. I don't know if it's Republican or Democrat, but yes, he is under investigation. Let me explain what happened. This is the title. If you want to look it up, it says Judge who oversees Trump civil fraud trial reportedly under investigation by the judicial oversight body for hallway chat with lawyer who said they talked about the case before the verdict. You're not supposed to talk about the case. You're making the decision, and you just went behind these folks' back, both the prosecution and the defense back, and you talking to somebody outside the case. Turns out that was a big no-no. I'll explain what happened. A hallway chat between a New York City real estate lawyer and the judge who oversees Donald Trump's civil fraud trial has reportedly sparked an investigation by the Empire State Judicial Oversight Body. Attorney Adam Leitman Bailey divulged the conversation in a February interview, and now it's showing up, with the New York City-based flagship station WNBC New York. That's a Democrat station. The interview, however, was only reported this week. I don't think this judge is applying the law properly, Bailey told the station, and I'm a big fan of this judge. Such a big fan, they turned him in. Isn't that lovely? According to Bailey, the conversation occurred 3 weeks before the New York Supreme Court Justice Arthur Engoron issued a blockbuster ruling that found Trump, his associated business that operate New York State under the Trump Organization umbrella, his sons Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr., and one-time Trump CFO Alan Weisenberg owe a combined $364 million. Originally, they wanted $250. I was actually had the ability to speak with him 3 weeks ago, Bailey said on February 16, the day of the ruling was issued. I saw him in the corner at the courthouse. I told my client I need to go, and I walked over and started talking. I wanted him to know I was thinking and why. I really wanted to get it right. The judge did not dispute the conversation took place, but said there was nothing untowering about the chat. No ex parte conversation concerning this matter occurred between Judge Engoron and Mr. Bailey or any other person. The New York State Office of Court Administration spokesman Al Baker told WABC. Yeah, he's probably baked in his head. The decision Judge Engoron issued on February 16 was his alone, was deeply considered, and was wholly uninfluenced by this individual. Yeah, right. That'd be like if somebody brought a bag of money in front of a juror and says, well, there'll be more if you don't find our friend not guilty. Okay? Don't believe what they're saying. In the long-running and far-reaching fraud case, several defendants, including numerous Trump-affiliated companies, were found liable on multiple counts of summary judgment on September 2023. The problem is this is supposed to be in the business district, and instead it's in Judge Enron's court. He has nothing to do with business. This guy, he's a total fruitcake, talking garbage, and he says he lets his feelings do the talking in the courtroom. His feelings don't belong in the courtroom. His feelings belong in a nut house, where he should be here right now. Because if they throw this case out on that conversation alone, you know how much money you would have wasted in the state of New York? The bench trial, that is, a trial without a jury on the exact the liability was held between October and December 2023. Enron ultimately arrived at a penalty shy of $370 million. The state asked for in January. Its 92-page decision, the judge opted that the fraud uncovered by New York State Letitia James and her team leaped off the pages and shocked the conscience. Bailey told WNBC News he told Engoron that a fraud statute used in the case is not meant to shut down a major company, which is true because that is one thing the New York State Court of Appeals has ruled against them multiple times. They ignore the law. They use it for their advantage to screw Trump. This is why now what's happening after this conviction, all of a sudden he's raising $200 million. He got 2.6 million people following him now on TikTok. Michael Cohen got doxxed. People trying to dox the jury. All kinds of crazy stuff is happening now. Now the Republicans up in Washington, D.C. are now fighting Biden tooth and nail, and they don't want to do nothing to help him. They're going to screw him over. It's going to make his situation worse. Stressed that this interpretation of the law was particularly on the point in a case they did not have a clear, defined victim. There was no victim. The victim is all in their head. This is a victimhood mentality of woke nonsense. Oh, I'm a victim of this, I'm a victim of that, I'm a victim of slavery. You weren't born during slavery. Oh, I'm still a victim. Oh, I'm a victim of selling bottled water. And this lady called the police on me. I mean, technically, yes, that little girl is a real victim. You calling the police because she's selling bottled water on the streets of San Francisco? But this case is definitely not victim. Trump sought to impress upon the court that none of the frauds on the bank and other financial institutions or firms at issue in the case were ever complaining about the fraud entering into cells, stressing that there was no fraud. Stressing that everyone made money and all other deals that were investigated, the defense argued did not pass muster with Engoron. Engoron is not a business lawyer, a judge, whatever the heck it is. He's in a different situation. The case shouldn't have been brought there in the first place. This is the problem we're having with the Allen Bragg's case. And what ABC has aired on the interview, the content of the described discussion between the real estate lawyer and the nationally famous judge could easily be read as arguably vague reference to New York law in general. Bailey, for his part, clearly appears to believe the discussion was on point regarding the Trump fraud case. I explained to him my small-time law for small-time cases, he said. Bailey. He had a lot of questions, about certain cases. We went over it. Bailey, for his part, told ABC News he's not a fan of Trump. See, this is not a Trump fan. This is a fan of that judge, but he still banged in the judge. While the real estate lawyer has been, quote, extensively as legal expert regarding the case, he was not in any way formally involved in the proceedings. That's the problem. He's not supposed to talk to anybody who's not involved in the Trump case. Citing familiar sources with the matter, WNBC reported that the incident is being looked at by the New York City Commission on Judicial Conduct. If the reporting is correct, the following New York court system speech rule was seen to apply in the situation. This is our rules. A judge shall, according to every person who had legal interest in the proceeding or that person's lawyer, the right to be heard according to law. A law judge should not intimidate, permit, or consider ex parte communications or consider other communications made to the judge outside the presence of the parties or their lawyers concerning a pending or impending proceeding, unless there's exception applied. None of this applied to Engoron. One of Trump's attorneys seized on the revelation to criticize the judge. The code doesn't provide an exception for, well, this is a small conversation, or, well, it didn't really impact me, or, well, this wasn't something the judge saw was found significantly. Christopher Case told WABC News. No, the code is very, very clear. And that's it. I'm sorry, but you're right. If the judge is deciding on a case, he cannot go talk to people outside the defendant's lawyers or the prosecutor without their consent. He didn't do none of that. And this guy has gotten himself in trouble before. He was on video harassing a female in the gym. I don't know if they're going to do anything to him, but the fact is, this does not look good. Oh, and by the way, Judge Merchant, we found out now that he got reprimanded for a contribution he did to an organization to stop Trump. He should not have been allowed still to be in the courtroom in the case. Now he's going after Barron. These are 3 high-profile cases involving Trump, his organization, Trump himself, and now Barron. You know, this does not pass a smell test. So, what they're going to do to him, I don't know. How they do something, a reprimand or something, because he shouldn't be allowed to do that. Because if they overturn this case on that speech alone, he's going to be in a lot of trouble because they spent a lot of money on this case. And they had to drop it because of a screw-up that he did. I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have some very angry New Yorkers who are celebrating before, opening champagne bottles, maybe for the several times now. Well, they can't put the champagne back in, can they? So this is Alcan saying so long for now, and don't forget your style. I thought I was going to throw up just thinking about this idiot Judge Engoron. Moron. All right.